everyone, Lucamus Prime here. How are you all doing? Hope all of you are great wherever you are in the world. So, I've just got back from seeing the final film of the Star Wars sequel trilogy and the final movie in the Skywalker saga, being Rise of Skywalker. So you've just got back and it's kind of hard to process what I've seen, really. But yeah, I went in expecting to be... I went into not expecting much because, like I have been when reacting to all the trailers for this movie, I've been trying to be very careful when reacting. Because after seeing The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and Solo, how they completely messed up the franchise, I thought I'd be really careful, and guess what, guys? It paid off, because this movie really let me down. I'm sorry. So yeah, what did I like about this movie? Well, in terms of visuals, it's great. Really is amazing in terms of visuals, really good. The cast, the acting is good, in my opinion, from several cast members, to be honest. I just didn't like what they did with the characters in this movie. But yeah, so I think probably the highlights of this movie was definitely the return of Sidious. Because with him coming back into roleplay by Ian McDiarmid reprising his role, this makes this movie the best film in the sequel trilogy in terms of villain choice, in my opinion, because, yeah, Palpatine is definitely a very irreplaceable villain when it comes to comparing him to, like, Kylo Ren and Snoke, for example. I also liked a new cast member being Richard E. Grant as General Pride. I thought he was really good in his role. And to be honest, I kind of wish he was the General in the first two films of the trilogy and this one, instead of Hux, in my opinion. And then also, I also went in there hoping they would give a great role for Princess Leia, considering, of course, that Carrie Fisher is no longer with us. I was hoping they'd send her off really well, and to be honest, they do kind of do that in this movie, and I must say, considering that they used unused footage from the previous two sequel trilogy films in this film, they did it really well how they rewrote the script, so those scenes that she filmed for the previous two films would fit into this film. It was really good how we did that. Oh yeah, and another bonus, we're definitely seeing Lando Calrissian come back. Really amazing, and played by V. Lando, Billy D. Williams. It was so great seeing him come back, and he's still got it, cause he's 82 years old, and he's still got it. It's really amazing. Seeing him come back, and he has really great scenes in this film. It was really good seeing him come back, yeah. Another good thing I did also like was they gave C-3PO a much bigger role than what he's had in the previous two films. I really liked how they gave him a much bigger role than what he's had before. I was very happy about that. So yeah, that's pretty much about it, really, in terms of the goodness. Oh yeah, another honourable mention has to definitely be the music by John Williams. The music in this movie was absolutely phenomenal. He never disappointed with his soundtrack at all, and we heard lots of iconic theme songs being reprised in this film, which was really good. And unfortunately, this marks his last Star Wars film, apparently, because he said that this film will be the last film he composed music for Star Wars, yeah. I'm sure he'll still continue being a composer of other films, because I do know he's going to be composing the soundtrack for the 5th Indiana Jones film, coming out in a couple of years. But yeah, I think this is his last Star Wars film that he's composing music for, so yeah, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So, on to what I did not like about the film. So, here we go. This is an issue I had with the first two films, the development for Rey. I'm not going to spoil much because, for the sake of us who've not seen it, I'm not going to spoil it for all you guys who are going to see it. The development in this movie is pretty terrible, and unfortunately, guys, they do continue the whole Mary Sue thing, unfortunately, which I was very disappointed about when I saw this movie. Another thing as well, was probably the lack of screen time of several of the characters from the OT, such as, well, Leia is one of them. That's mainly because logically, because Carrie didn't film very much, deleted scenes, really, before she passed away, 3 years ago. Also, there was a lack of screen time for Luke Skywalker, unfortunately. Because those two, Carrie and Mark, were billed first, and yet they're hardly in the film. Like, what are we playing at? Seriously. Also, I did not like the lack of screen time for R2, because you cannot unuse R2. Him and C-3PO are like the essence of the Star Wars franchise, and he was barely in this film. Like, anything BB-8 does in this film, R2 could have done it. But so why can't we just use R2? Scrap BB-8. I also wish we gave more screen time to Lando as well. Even though Billy D. Williams' performance was amazing as always, because he never disappointed Lando, in my opinion. It was great to see him come back. I wish we got more of him in this movie. He deserved way more screen time. And the same could also apply to Darth Sidious as well. The Emperor. You know, because he's the main antagonist of this film, and arguably the main antagonist of the entire Skywalker saga, yet, you know, we see him at the beginning of the movie, but then after that we don't see him again until much later on. Which is a bit of a shame, really. I was hoping we'd see more of him, but... Oh, yeah. Another good thing about this movie I will say, without spoiling, is there's a cameo by an OT character in this movie, like about 3/4 of the movie into it, but I'm not going to spoil who it is who makes a cameo appearance, because, yeah... this scene, though, I'm talking about, was definitely a little bonus, in my opinion. And there's also several other cameos as well, either live action or vocal, in this movie from several characters from the trilogies, which that was also really good to see, how they didn't forget the previous 2 trilogies, at least, even though this is... You know, guys, in terms of, you know, conclusion to a Star Wars franchise, to this day, I still consider Return of the Jedi to be the best conclusion to a Star Wars franchise. Not this movie, unfortunately. This film, it's an enjoyable, you know, popcorn flick, really. The action is definitely worth paying. Well, how much did I pay? Oh, yeah. I paid £9 to watch this film. The action is worth it in terms of, you know, paying money to go and see it. And the music is also great to listen to as well, if you love John Williams' music as well. And the visuals, stunning. I also like the space battles as well. They were really good. So, now you're probably wondering how I'm going to rate this film. Okay. Because Sidious, Lando, and the actors, and the visuals, the music, and the action made it a bit more enjoyable than The Last Jedi, which is the worst Star Wars film, I'm going to very respectfully give it the same score that I gave The Force Awakens, which will be a 6 out of 10, whereas for Last Jedi I gave it a 4 out of 10 because it's terrible. So yeah, 6 out of 10 will be my final rating for this film, yeah. So yeah, it is slightly enjoyable a little bit, but to be honest, Return of the Jedi it should have ended with Return of the Jedi, because this film, you know, doesn't deserve to be the conclusion to a Star Wars franchise. Like, I just wish this sequel would never happen, really, because they messed up a great franchise. So, this was me reviewing Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, be sure to give this video a like, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the film without spoiling it. If you've seen it, if you think you're going to see it, then enjoy it. I hope you do enjoy it. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos coming in the future, and I will see you all later.